Sri Mayapur Dham ki jai, Sri Navadwip Mandal Kartik Parikrama ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveda Gaura Bhaktavrinda ki jai, Jai Nitai Go Primanandi Hari Hari Bol. On behalf of ISKCON Mayapur, I would like to welcome all the devotees to this year's Navadwip Mandal Parikrama, Kartik Parikrama. So this Kartik Parikrama is our special offering to the devotees all over the world. Actually, we have been organizing this Parikrama since 2012. The Mayapur Chandras, which is one of the departments of ISKCON Mayapur, has successfully conducted this very auspicious Parikrama for last 8 years. There have been lots of wonderful realizations, which I've heard from various devotees, about the connection with Sridhar Mayapur, about the appreciation of Mahaprabhu's pastimes, and so many wonderful memories that they have taken with them by attending this Parikrama. So with the enthusiasm of our devotees, with the enthusiasm of Mayapur Chandras, then we are able to offer to all of you this online Parikrama, so that hopefully you will be able to absorb yourself in the mood of Sridhar Mayapur, in the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So thank you, all of you, for participating and being here with us, and hopefully you will have some wonderful experiences and wonderful realizations. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you to the 8th Kartik Nabadwip Mandal Parikrama. Usually we go out for 6 days covering all the 9 islands. But because of the pandemic, we have reduced the Parikrama to 5 days. So within these 5 days, all of us together will be covering all the 9 islands of Nabadwip Dham, which also represents the 9 processes of devotional service. Without any further delay, let's begin the Parikrama. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. The first day we'll be visiting Antardwip. The 9 islands of Nabadwip Dham represents the 9 processes of devotional service. So Antardwip represents Atmanivedan, or full surrender. We'll be visiting Madhai Ghat, Yogapith, Hare Krishna. Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna. So, right now we are in the area where Mahaprabhu would spend most of the time during his Navadvip pastime. This is the area where he would spend ample amount of time here. Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes that this part of Navadvip was extremely beautiful. Of course, every corner of Navadvip Dham is very, very beautiful. But especially this area of Navadvip Dham was very beautiful, decorated with many gardens, beautiful path, and the prominent ghats, bathing ghats in Mayapur area was in this area. Ganga was flowing by. There are 4 prominent ghat that was here. Of course, Mahaprabhu had his own ghat called Mahaprabhu Ghat, where he would sports with other friends in his own ghat. Then you have Madhai Ghat. Then you have Barkona Ghat, which was built personally by Vishwakarma. And there was beautiful Shiva temple in Barkona Ghat. Then you have Nagaria Ghat, where the inhabitants of Navadvip would come and bathe. Right now we are sitting in an area of Mahaprabhu Ghat and Madhai Ghat, which was very close to each other. Actually, if you see the description by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then all these 4 prominent ghats were practically next to each other, not much distance from each other. So now we'll hear a small description about Madhai Ghat. We all know that Sriman Mahaprabhu distributed love of Godhead without any discrimination. He distributed love of Godhead through the congregational chanting of the holy name. Papi tapi joto chilo hariname uddharilo tar sakhi jagai madhai. Jagai and Madhai, they're the example how even the lowest of man can be delivered simply by taking to the chanting of the holy name. After Jagai and Madhai was delivered, both of them could not forgive themselves because what they have done to Nityananda Prabhu and to the other devotees, and especially Madhai, who actually hit Nityananda Prabhu on his forehead, abused him physically. Even though Nityananda Prabhu, being the most merciful Lord, forgave Jagai and Madhai, yet they felt very remorse in their heart. From that day on, they actually did not go back to their homes. They were just sleeping on the bank of the Ganga, sometime going to some devotee's house to beg some prasadam. They were chanting 2 lakhs of name every single day and just looking for a way to ask for forgiveness from Nityananda Prabhu and the inhabitants of Navadvip, to whom they have done so many offenses knowingly and unknowingly. One day, Jagai and Madhai, finding Nityananda Prabhu sitting in a secluded place, they approached him. Falling at his lotus feet, they began to cry piteously, asking the Lord to please forgive them. Nityananda Prabhu embraced them, said that I have accepted both of you as my own servants. Jagai and Madhai prayed to the Lord, my Lord, you are so merciful, you have forgiven us. But what about the inhabitants of Navadvip? we do not even know to whom we have committed offenses, how to ask forgiveness from them. Some we know, but most we don't know. It's interesting why they say that. Because most of the time Jagaya and Madhai was totally drunk. They did not actually know what they were doing. So expressing their pathetic situation, degraded life, Jagaya and Madhai was asking Lord Nityananda for a way out. They wanted to forget the past and move on. But just knowing that they have offended so many devotees, so many people, they were not peaceful at all in their hearts. Seeing their devoted mind and a strong desire to ask forgiveness from devotees, Nityananda Prabhu was very, very pleased with Jagaya and Madhai. And he gave a very amazing solution that all of us can follow also. Because in our day-to-day lifetime, we offend so many devotees knowingly or unknowingly. Sometimes we offend devotees, we don't even know that we have offended them. Just the way we speak, they get hurt and we don't even realize that we have hurt somebody. And that affects our devotional life. When the devotees are pleased with you, that's when you progress. When the devotees are unhappy with you, they're upset with you and they feel offended by your actions, then your devotional life is stuck. And sometimes you wonder why I'm not feeling happy in devotional life. That's because some devotees are offended. You don't know who. Even if you don't know to whom you have offended, if they're offended by you, your spiritual life is stuck. That's the process. So Nityananda Prabhu gave a very beautiful solution. In this area where we are sitting, this is the area of Madhai Ghat. And as you can see, Ganga is flowing right behind you. Nityananda Prabhu said, you make a bathing ghat for the devotees. You see, at that time, because Jagaya and Madhai gave up everything, all their wealth, their homes, they've just given up everything. They become complete renunciate. Surviving, as far as prasad is concerned, they were just begging sometimes. And they were just chanting all day and night. Make the bathing ghat. Make sure it's clean all the time. When the devotees come, they will see such a nice place to bathe. Who had made this? Oh, Jagaya and Madhai has made this. And they'll feel happy in their heart. Look how they have changed. When the devotees come, you try to serve them. You ask for forgiveness. Fall at their feet. If you serve in this way, every day you make sure the bathing ghat is clean. When the devotees come, you try to help them, try to serve them, and you ask forgiveness from them. In this way, devotees will be pleased and you'll be forgiven. Devotees are very, very merciful. So both of them, Jagaya and Madhai, especially Madhai, both of them made this beautiful ghat. And the devotees, every day they would come and bathe in Madhai Ghat. Of course, in the beginning, they were a little bit cautious. What happened to them? Suddenly, they're totally changed. So humble. They were so arrogant before. Beating up people, killing people, abusing in so many ways. Unthinkable what they were doing. Therefore, when at one point Yamaraj asked his secretary Chitragupta, can you tell me what they have done? Chitragupta said, don't even bother, my Lord. Even if we read on, so many of us read together for days and days, it won't be ended. So don't even bother about it. The fact that Mahaprabhu has delivered them, that's it. Don't even think. Don't try to go there. They were very, very degraded. But now the people have seen they're totally changed. And just the way Jagai and Madhai with such humility would come and beg forgiveness from devotees' hearts would actually be melted. They would forgive Jagai and Madhai for all their offenses. And therefore, since then, this place is known as Madhai Ghat. So here in this area, throughout the day, throughout the evening, sometimes throughout the night, but especially in the evening, the Lord would spend time either in bathing, harassing the inhabitants of Navadwip, playing with Mother Ganga, arguing with the other Pandits, teaching other students. In this way, he would spend his time in Navadvip in this area. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Madhai Ghat ki, Bhakta Jagai Madhai ki.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So now we arrived in Mahaprabhu Ghat. We're in Antardwip, Central Island. This is Nimai Ghat, or Mahaprabhu Ghat is known as. It's where the river Ganges used to flow, about midway between where Nimai's house and ISKCON, but not a direct line. It's out towards Belpakura that way, but just a couple of kilometers. So this is the Ghat was probably had probably a direct line from Nimai's house. He would go there, but there were other Ghats nearby also. There were many Ghats, because at that time, 500 years ago, there was no showers. Right? We had no electricity and water tank on the roof. So everyone you have to take bath in the pukur or well or the river, or a pump, some kind of hand pump. Well, then you had a well. Rivers are best. A sacred river is the best place for taking bath. There's a list. Sacred river, or a sacred kund, the ocean, then a lake, then a pond. There's a whole thing as it comes down. So every day there'll be thousands of people there. Morning and especially noontime, there'll be thousands of people at the river. So there's many Ghats there. There's Shiva Ghat, there's Mahaprabhu's Ghat, there's Jagai Madhai Ghat, Barkona Ghat, quite close to each other. And so after school, when young Nimai, he was a prankster, as children often will be. So because he's a Lord, he does everything in extreme. So he's extremely naughty. Like Krishna was quite naughty. Mother had to tie him up one time. This time. So he would go there after school. He would go there and they would play in the river. But they would play for hours. Fighting and playing with the friends and arguing with other students because that time Navadvip was famous as the place of learning, Nadia. This area was very famous. Anyone who was anyone, any professor had a school here. It was a very important place. I said so there was thousands and thousands of professors and millions of students. So naturally they're young. We always think that our teacher is best, our guru is best when we're young. And they thought they would taunt each other, and they would challenge them to debates, playing debate, and then they would try to defeat each other. And if they defeat them, they would say, "What kind of teacher you had? You go back and study some more. You look, our teacher is Nimai." He wasn't Nimai that time. He was Gangadas Pandit. But he was teaching at a very young age. By 14, he was teaching. Before that, and they would pick fights with others. Often the arguments would end up in fights, and they would so they'd be rushing around and trying to chase each other, throwing mud on each other, and then other people coming to take their bath, and they would be disturbed about it. If it got too serious to fight, then Nimai would have to, if they pounded the other people too much, they'd have to jump in and swim away in the Ganges to another place. So that was one thing. But then Nimai wasn't satisfied with that. He would harass everyone. He had a lot of energy. And he used to, when the people come to take their bath, they would, when they took their bath, they'd come out, then the boys would throw mud on them. So they get angry, and they laugh, and the boys run away, they go back, wash off the mud, they come out again. In the winter, it was no joke, but this is what they do, and people become very angry, but no one could catch Nimai. He was very fast. If someone was doing the puja, they would set up the asan and the offerings. They go and take bath. Nimai would come and sit down. He'd take the sandalwood, put it on himself, throw everything, eat any fruit there, and throw everything else away. And they would come out very angry. "You're the son of a Brahmana. What's going on? What are you doing? What are you doing?" "Well, you're making this offering is for me anyway, so I'm taking." And then you run away. They couldn't understand he was the Supreme Lord himself. But this was going on too much, so they decided to go to complain to his father. So they went down to Jagannath Mishra's house. And then the girls also went to complain. He would joke with the girls also. When he was older, he was very serious. But when he was younger, he would when the girls came to do their worship, often they would worship Shiva to get a good husband, the young girls. They would bring their offerings, and he would stop them. And he said, "Actually, you should give that to me." They said, this is for our worship of Shiva." I said, "Look, Shiva worships me also." I said, "Vishnu, what are you saying?" "Anyway, just give me that offering." So he said, "Go away, we'll tell your father." So if you don't give me that offering, I'll curse you that your husband will be very old, and you'll have 6 co-wives. So they thought, "Oh, he's a Brahmin after all. Maybe he has some potency." So then they would give him the offering. Secretly, they were satisfied because Nimai is all attractive. Anyway, so they went down to his father's house, and he said, "Mister, your son, he's very reckless, he's very naughty. He's a big disturbance. Every day he's making a big disturbance. We're chanting Gayatri in the water. He swims underneath and pulls our legs from under us. Or he'll creep up behind us and jump on our shoulders and leap off and say, 'I am Mahesh, I am Mahesh.'" One of the worst things he does is that when the ladies bathe one place and the men bathe the other side, and they keep their clothes in the separate places. But he said sometimes they go up and they take some of the men's clothes in and mix it with the ladies' clothing, take the ladies' clothing and mix it with the men's clothing. It's very embarrassing, very difficult. And we've chastised him every day, but he doesn't listen. So we thought today will come. He's there now, you can see. And the ladies, the girls went to Sachi Mata and said, yes, Nimai, he's just, who does he think he is? He's just like that, we heard about the prince of Vraja. He acts just like that. He pinches our babies, makes them cry. He puts these okra, these seeds in our hair, these little spiky balls. He puts them in the hair and they get tangled up, very difficult to get out. Sometimes he said, will you marry me? He's very naughty, that boy. So, Jagannath, so then Jagannath became very upset. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Yes, you can go now. You see what he's doing. He never stops these antics. So Jagannath picks up a stick. I said, I go right now. And so he marches off to the Ganges. Meanwhile, the young girls say, oh, Nimai's in big trouble now. We've made big trouble for him. So they run quickly another way. They get there before and they said, Nimai, your father's coming and he's got a stick and he's really angry. So Nimai had to think quick. So he told his friends, he said, when my father comes, he says, tell him I didn't come today. Tell him I wasn't here. So then Nimai jumps out and he goes another way. He goes another way home, so his father doesn't see him. The father comes there, and he said, where is he, where is he? And the men say, well, someone said, no, he ran away. And they asked, where's Nimai? They're asking the boys, well, no, Nimai didn't come today. We're also waiting for him. He didn't come. So then the Jagannath Mishra couldn't find him, so then he started to go back. Meanwhile, Nimai comes home, goes to his mother, and his clothes are drying, his hair is drying, he's got ink spots on his fingers from his studies. His mother, give me some oil, and I'm just going to take my bath in the Ganges. So she was surprised. Oh. And then Jagannath Mishra comes with his stick, so Nimai sits on Sachi Mata's lap. And he said, all these complaints, all these complaints about you. And I said, no, not true, not true. It just upset me for something, but actually it's not true. I never went to the Ganges today. They're just making up to get me into trouble. I did something with the other boys and they're upset, so they're making this politics. So they were bewildered. So he was talking to Sachi Mata, those men, they're not lying, they're not telling lies. But how is it that his cloth is dry, and it appears that he hasn't come to the Ganges. He's very mysterious, this boy. But anyway, then they was trying to understand him, and then Nimai smiled and jumped on his lap, and then he got the Vatsala Bhav, and heart melted. He couldn't be angry with him anymore. So then he got the oil, little oil, because he put the oil after the bath, and then he went to the Ganges. And he told everyone, so all his friends. They said, Nimai, you're very smart. You saved yourself from a good beating today. So all these antics, and then they were playing so furiously, the water used to come muddy, the people couldn't bath properly. They would do everything. And when they'd harassed everyone sufficiently, then they'd move on to another ghat and do the same thing there. So this was their sadhana. Their sadhana after all their studies. And so these are the wonderful, attractive pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So of course the Ganges doesn't run here any longer. So we'd have to make some monument, some shrines there, some markers so that the place doesn't get lost. Nimai Ghat or Gauranga Ghat. And a location has been defined by, it's been written about by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his Nabadwip Dham, and it has been identified by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the actual place. So we'll mark all these places in due course of time so that They will be there for heritage. The heritage, they'll be there forever. Then all the future devotees who come, they can go to those places and hear these wonderfully fresh, eternal pastimes for the next 10,000 years. Mahaprabhu Ghat ki jai, Nimai ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol. Antardwip ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So we are at Yogapith right now. Yoga means to connect, and Pitha means the place where the Lord connects himself to the earth planet. In this context, it means where the Lord appears. Navadwip Dham is like the beautiful lotus flower that has 8 petals. And in the middle of the lotus flower is Yogapith. So we are actually in the very center of Nabadwip Dham, the very birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur re-established Mahaprabhu's birthplace, so they have built a beautiful temple for Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we are reminded about his contribution, that we are eternally indebted to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We know that Bhaktivinoda Thakur went to Calcutta door to door, collecting 1 rupee to build this very beautiful place. Now we are walking towards this beautiful pond, Gaurakund, and we'll be going there, sprinkling this divine water to purify our existence, our heart, our consciousness. Naturally, Mother Sachi, Jagannath Mishra and Sriman Mahaprabhu would use this water for different purposes, including bathing. So requesting all the devotees to please come and sprinkle this divine water on your forehead. There is a very beautiful small deity named Adhokshaja Vishnu. That was the personal deity of Jagannath Mishra, Mahaprabhu's father. And when this temple was being constructed, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur found this beautiful deity, and that is still there.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
So on the first altar, you will see Sri Radha Madhav and Sriman Mahaprabhu. And then on the middle altar is Sriman Mahaprabhu and Lakshmi Priya and Vishnu Priya. And if you see in the front, there's a beautiful Simhasana where Adhokshaja Vishnu is residing, the personal deity of Jagannath Mishra. And on this altar is Panchatattva and Lord Jagannath. So Vrindavan Das Thakur explains, Mayapur Hanogram Tribhuvananai Jatha Avatirna Hoila Chaitanya Gosai. In this whole planetary system, there is no place like Sri Mayapur Dham where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So under this beautiful neem tree, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Say, Gauranga! 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 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eternally resides here, performing his transcendental pastimes. Kono kono bhagyavana dekhibare paye. Only the fortunate souls are able to see. And one of those great personality, Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu, the greatest of Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva, eternally resides here. Please come. Lord Shiva eternally resides here. The small Lord Shiva, Shivalinga, it's called Gopeswar, Mahadev. And the big Shivalinga is called Kshetrapal, Shiv. If we want to progress in our devotional life, residing in the Dham, we have to get blessings and permission of Lord Shiva. Without his blessings, we will not be able to reside in Mayapur Dham. And therefore, it's very important that we always take shelter of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva eternally resides here and sees the beautiful pastime of Mahaprabhu that he performs in his own home in Yogapith. We are under this divine neem tree where the Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here you can see Jagannath Mishra and Mother Sachi, and in the lap of Mother Sachi, baby Nimai is residing. So we'll do 3 times Parikrama and then we'll proceed to the next place. Hare Krishna. 4 bar, 4 times.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam Jai Jai Shri Vrindavana Dham Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam Jai Jai Shri Vrindavana Dham.
On our left, Gaur Gadadhar. On our right is Lakshmi Nrsimhadev. As we know, Nrsimhadev removes the obstacles on the path of devotional service, so we can pray to Lord Nrsimhadev here so that he removes all the obstacles. And now we humbly request His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj to speak about the glories of Yogapith.
Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamineti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschata Desatarine Namo Mahabadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratase Namaha. Hare Krishna. We are here at Yogapith. As all of you know, that Gauramandal Bhumi is non-different from Brajamandal. So in Gauramandal, middle of Gauramandal, there is Navadwip Mandal, and between Navadwip Mandal, the Ganga is flowing. On the eastern side of Ganga, there are 4 islands. Western side of Ganga, there are 5 islands. Like this, 9 islands comprises Nabadwip Mandal. So Antardwip is at the center of Nabadwip Mandal. So Yogapith is very, very important place in Gauramandal, which is circumference of Gauramandal is 168 miles, which is like a 1,000-petal lotus flower. And in the middle of Gauramandal is Navadwip Mandal, 8 petals lotus flower with the center at with the hole at the center called Antardwip. Navadwip Mandal is 32 miles circumference, and at the center of Navadwip Mandal is Antardwip, that is 10 mile circumference, and the center of Antardwip is Mayapur. Mayapur, 3 mile circumference, and center of Mayapur, that is center of Mayapur is Yogapith. Why it is called Yogapith? Because yoga means connection. At this particular place, Lord Gauranga from spiritual world connected to this material world. Of course, when Lord comes, He does not come in material world. He manifests within the spiritual realm only. So on this Yogapith, there is a tree, neem tree. As all of you see, this neem tree is the tree under which Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared. It is believed that Mahaprabhu appeared. The original tree is not there. So later on this tree was planted. And because Lord Gauranga appeared under this neem tree, that's why he was named as Nimai. Nimai, because he appeared on neem tree, under neem tree. And some say that before Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared, a few children's daughters of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, they died. So village people, they believe that they were taken by Yamaraj. So they thought if we give Gauranga name as Nimai, and neem is bitter, taste bitter, so Yamaraj will not take him away. So affectionately they called Nimai. So this is what this Yogapith is, and the place where all devotees, they come and unite with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And Yogapith is the house of Jagannath Mishra Sachi Mata, where Lord Gauranga performed so many sweet childhood pastimes. So there are many sweet pastimes. One pastime is that Gauranga Mahaprabhu, small boy Nimai, was playing with puppies, small dogs, puppies. And Mother Sachi said, oh, he was playing with his friends. Then at one point he chose some very nice, beautiful chubby puppies to take to his house. The friends complained, no, why you will take? We are all playing together. Then Nimai said, you all come together to my house with these puppies, we'll play together. Then there they went to house, Mother Sachi saw. He's playing with the small dogs. They said, hey, what are you doing? You are Brahman family, because puppies or dogs are untouchable according to our Sanatan Dharma. Then she prohibited. But Nimai was very attached to play with puppies. Then Mother Sachi said, no, it is too late now. You should go take bath, take your food, then you can play again. Then Mother Sachi put oil on Nimai's body. Nimai went to Ganga to take bath. When he went to Ganga, Mother Sachi, she knowingly released all the puppies from the house. Then somebody ran to Nimai and said, oh Nimai, your mother released all the puppies. Then Nimai came, there is no puppies. So he was very sad. He started to cry. Who released all my puppies? The Mother said, hey, who did this? I will say, no, she only did it just to pacify Nimai. Then it was found that all those small puppies, dogs, they went, when Mahaprabhu released, they went on the street, they chanted Hari Bol, and went back to Godhead. Jai, Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. So like this, Mahaprabhu has so many childhood pastimes at this place. So this Yogapith is the center of Antardwip. As you know, there are 9 islands: Antardwip, Simantadwip, Godrumdwip, Madhyadwip, Koladwip, Ritudwip, Janudwip, Madadrumdwip and Rudradwip. So each island name has a specific meaning, means a specific pastimes Lord Gauranga performed, for which this island is named like that. The Antardwip is a very special island, and which represents Atmanivedan, complete surrender. So in this regard, the scriptures describes that how, as all of you know from Srimad Bhagavatam, that Brahma committed offense unto Krishna, that he could not understand that how Krishna can become Bhagavan. When Brahma saw one day that Lord Krishna is eating remnants from other cowherd boys, then he thought he cannot be Bhagavan. Bhagavan cannot eat like this. I want to test. Then you know the story, how you want to test, hiding all the cowherd boys, then the calves. Then Krishna manifested from his own body exactly same calves and cowherd boys. And finally, Brahma understood that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then he went to beg forgiveness. So though Krishna pardoned him for his mistake, but he was very worried. But I am so proud because I have a big position. The position gives me all troubles. So I am so proud. I can't understand, because of my big position, I get bewildered time to time and commit offense like this. So what if again I will commit offense like this? Then Brahma, he came to this Nabadwip Dham. There is a village called Atapur, where he performed tapasya. That Atapur village, till now we have not located where this Atapur village, but somewhere is there. Then Brahma, he went through severe austerities, or we are doing Gaur Bhajan in this island, Antardwip. Then one day, Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, being pleased with Brahmaji, he appeared in front of him. that I want to give you some boon, what boon you want? So what boon Brahma will ask? He has Brahma Pada, position Brahma, the highest position. What more he will ask? The Brahma said, this highest position is the biggest trouble in my life. So you please bless me, so that I will take birth in very low family, so that I will be free from all my misconception that I am so big. So you better give me birth in a family, low family. So Lord Krishna said, your desire will be fulfilled, that you will take birth in low family, Javana family, but you will be a great devotee. Your name will be Haridas. You will chant 300,000 holy name every day, and you will be known as Namacharya. So these are very secret things that I am revealing to you. So from the core of my heart, because Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he revealed his heart. This is called Antardwip. Antar means his inner court of his heart was revealed to Brahmaji. That's why this island was named as Antardwip. So in this way, this island is very, very important, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. And when I do Parikrama, the rule is the first day, devotees must come to this place, take darshan of Mahaprabhu, blessings of Mahaprabhu. That is how Nityananda Prabhu has started his tour, and also with Jiva Goswami and also Srinivas Thakur, who went on a tour Parikrama with Ishan Thakur. They all started from Antardwip, from this Yogapith. So accordingly, every year we do our Parikrama, taking blessings of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sachi Mata Jagannath Mishra at Yogapith. Then we continue our Parikrama, and last day also one has to come back here and also offer obeisances. So this place, Jagannath Mishra's house, which was not known for many, many years, because after Mahaprabhu lived, Nityananda Prabhu has predicted for next 400 years that this place will be not visible because of movement of Ganga. It was not visible. Then due course of time, people are miscalculating about the exact location of Mahaprabhu, somewhere on the western side of Ganga. But finally, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he discovered this place with proper proofs, and that time the great Vaishnava Jagannath Babaji, when he was brought to this place, and he was so old, and devotees carried him inside a basket, but as soon as he reached at this place, immediately jumped out of the basket and started to dance, pointing out that this is the place Mahaprabhu took birth. And also, when this place was bought from the Muslim people by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Prabhupada, and they came to search this place, then Muslim people said, this place is a useless place, but whatever cultivation we are trying to do here, always only tulsi plants are growing here. Of course, for Muslim people, tulsi plants are useless, but for Vaishnavas, tulsi is everything. So in this way, this Yogapith, where Mahaprabhu connected himself to this material world and exhibited so many sweet childhood pastimes. Gaurangar Madhur Lila, Jar Karne Prabesila, Hridaya Nirmala Bhelatar. The sweet pastimes of Lord Gauranga enters into the ear holes of anybody then his heart will be immediately cleansed. Of course, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, his childhood time, he was not exhibiting much devotional activities. He was more into releasing Vidyarasa. He was always he was very famous for as a learned Nimai Pandit. And 11 years old, he had opened a toll also. So in that way, people from foreign countries, they are coming to Navadvip for learning. So this is the place, the birthplace or appearance place of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, known as Yogapith, located in Antardwip, and Antardwip is the center of Nabadwip Dham. Thank you all so much.
Namami Sarang Sachidananda Yasodhaviya Lokha Labdhavamana Paramrishta Matankato Rutagopram Yasodhaviya Lokha Labdhavamana Paramrishta Yasodhaviya Lokha Labdhavamana Paramrishta Matankato Drutagopyam Yasodhaviya Lokha Labdhavamana Paramrishta Rudantang Mohurnetra Yugmami Jantam Karam Bhuja Yugmena Shatanka Netra Rudantang Mohurnetra Yugmami